We will start 5 lines from the bottom on page Chavdalit. We are now talking about Torah, the principle that Torah is the Chochma Nafkos, comes from Chochma, which means it is a representative of Chochma. Chochma, as we said, this is the essence. This retains the essential aspect. What's made Chochma? We said in Atzilus, Chochma is the essence of the Atzilus. And it retains the essence, as we discussed. This is the Seichel that it represents the essential truth as it comes. And then we say, saying that really there is a much deeper principle in this Inyan, that Torah is Chochma Nafkos, because that Chochma, in relation to this statement, Torah and Chochma Nafkos, the Chochma there is, we are talking about the Chochma da Atzilus, which is already a Chochma that was Nimshach. We're talking about the Chochma that is inherent in the Etz, which is called Chochma Hagduma. And we discussed yesterday the principle of Kiduma. Kiduma means pristine. Kiduma means that which is present at the very original stage. It is not something that came into being. That's meant Kiduma. Kodum. That means that this is a chokhmah that is inherent in the etzem itself. Etzem we already discussed many times, that was not what's called not preceded by not being. In other words, it is not a definitive being. This is the essential. In essence, it's there in essence. It's meant essence. But in that level, there is what's called the chokhmah. And we pointed out yesterday, what is this Inyan HaChokhmah? Says he so this is described over here as Idias Atzmoy, knowing himself. Can you press the button for this? Knowing himself, Idias Atzmoy. Knowing himself. Excuse me. It's knowing himself is not a process of discovery. This is an inherent reality that he knows himself. And as we pointed out yesterday, a very simple aspect is saying that a rock is like a motion for the union from etzem, because a rock is something that stands for itself and is not involved in anything external. As a matter of fact, in Chassidus, it explains that the Gashmis, the Alter Rebbe says, Gashmis, that is really representative of the Koyach Etzem, because only Etzem can create, only Atmas can create an entity that becomes a reality unto itself. It denies any source. It's just there because it is there. That is kind of representative of the real Atzmus. What then is like the difference? Why can't we say the Rak is an Etzem? Nachman Islam, this is in fact what the world is saying. There is the smallest particle. This is the basis for all the creation, for all existence. That's the Etzem. So we said, the Rak doesn't even know that it exists. What kind of Atzmi is this? He has absolutely no reality. It's only a moshe for the from the Keach Atzmi. But the principle of an Atzmi, of a reality, is that it is fully aware. But the awareness is not something that is an add-on to it. He knows mitzadu emes, mitzadu Atzim itself. So this is called the ideas of Etzem. Knowing the Etzem. And as we said in the line before the one we're starting, that there is no oir. If there's no oir, so what does he know? He knows the Etzem itself. The truth of the Atzmi itself. That knowledge is possible only from within the Atzmi. It's not possible from outside, because there's no manifestation at all of that essence, of that central point. And then, so after having said that, he says, Mikol Mokoim. Okay, that's what we're starting, 5 lines on the bottom. Mikol Mokoim. But nevertheless, even so, Harei Zeh B'Bchinas Yidio Al Kol Ponim. It still qualifies as Yidio. And this is where this is extremely challenging, and as a matter of fact, at that point we say that this is really not possible to fully comprehend. How can there be Yidiya in a non-manifestation, in an essential state? What is there to know about it? To know the truth of the Yetzir. So that statement itself, the truth, is already a manifestation. This is not really this is not what the Etzem is. This is, for us, this is a best way of referring to it. Because truth is something which we can kind of relate, that truth is, it doesn't need to be created. Truth is there mitzad Etzem. Which is why we say, Amit is emot, emes. This is like a mashal, that when one needs to relate something, like we discussed it last week, mashal, born yesterday, born tomorrow. To relate the situation as it is saying the truth. This is called saying the truth. Telling you the truth is a simple reality. This is why the word truth is like kind of like a means to describe something that is essential. But really, that already is a very description. For us, this is the best. This is our only means of reference. So therefore, how to say that this is Yidiya, that is itself very challenging. There's no way we can understand that. What kind of idea? Nevertheless, we have to say that there is in HaChochma in Etzem. And Areze B'chinas Idea Al Kol Ponim, despite the out of kilter, so to speak, that the idea is not applicable. Nevertheless, it is B'chinas Idea. Rak except they say it's idea with the qualifier. Shezehu Mashu Yudeya Hu Etzem K'mishahu. That this idea is that he knows the Etzem K'mishahu as the Etzem is, not as the Etzem manifests itself in whatever form, in whatever subtle manner it is. No, it is the Etzem as the Etzem is unto itself. This is inherent Chochmah. And as we pointed out now and yesterday, but that idea must be, in other words, if it's in contrast to a rock is also an etzem. It also is a pointless existence that doesn't require any kind of explanation for its existence. But it's not a true existence. Not real about it. A true existence is that which is fully aware, fully cognizant of what it is, of itself. So therefore, this is the idea, Masha idea is ho'etzem k'meishahu. The idea is ho'etzem k'meishahu, as we said before, this is like ideyas atzmai. This is an internal knowledge. This is not a knowledge that extends to the outside. V'yodua ha'moshel bozeh. And even there we have a moshel for it. There's a moshel that is already presented elsewhere. The moshel for this kind of idea is Kamo yidiyas ha'chochom, that this is like the knowledge of the chochom be'etzem koyach chochmos. A chochom who is a chochom be'etzem koyach chochmos, but the essence of his koyach chochom. And we'll try to make sense of these words, but essentially what we're saying is knowledge with the etzem koyach hachochma, meaning the etzem, before the koyach hachochma has focused and attached itself to any kind of a subject, etzem koyach hachochma. Shegam koidem shoro. This in that way, and knowledge based etzem koyach chochmos, shegam koidem shoro. That even before that he saw ve'iyam, or and reflected and focused beho'inyan, before he even applied himself to a given inyan, harei hu yodeya, he knows even before starting sheyovei al ho'inyan, that he will come upon this inyan, meaning to say that he will come to recognize and to fully open up and get to know this inyan. This means yovei al ho'inyan, v'yaskil, and he will comprehend it. How does he know that Yovei Elohim v'yaskil boy, and he will be able to bring out haskola, bring out its inner meaning? Mitzad idiyas etzem koyach chochmosoi, because of the fact that he is aware of etzem koyach chochmosoi, of the essence of his koyach chochmah. And what does he know about the Otzem Koyach Chochmos? Shebiyichol toilovei al kol dvar chochma v'seichel. that it is within his capacity to come, meaning to reach in and to relate al kol var chochma v'seichel, any union of chochma and seichel. Anything that has to do with chochma and seichel, he has the capacity to ultimately reach into it. He knows that, even before he starts. So even though at the time when he starts, it's a challenging thing to get to know and to understand this union. But he knows before he starts that he will get to it. How does he know that? Shezehu yidiyaz hakoyach ha'atzmi. This is a state of knowledge where he knows the koyach ha'atzmi, the essential koyach of his chokhmah, koydem sheba lidei eze gilui. Before that, the chokhmah came through to any gilui, to any kind of manifestation, any kind of functional experience. So I'd like really to discuss this. The second line from the bottom. I'm reading again. He is capable to come upon any dvar chokhmah v'seichel, anything that is in dvar chokhmah v'seichel. This forces us to focus in and to kind of understand what is meant by a dvar chokhmah v'seichel. In today's world, again, that is really our challenge. It has been concluded that anything that exists, anything that you experience, anything you come upon, can ultimately be explained on a procedural physical level. This was kind of an accepted principle on the basis that there is no creator, on the basis that everything that exists has created itself. The whole existence, the whole world created itself from a Big Bang. And therefore, if there is such thing as chokhmah v'seichel, and there is life, that the Big Bang has somehow combined different particles and created life. I mean, and therefore, even if I don't know anything, even doesn't make any sense, I'm convinced that there is nothing more than some kind of a combination of things. This is the perfect state of death. Even when I'm alive, I'm not living.
Opposite of yesterday's Hayom Yom.
That's right. Exact opposite. Baruch Hashem, we we know that we are alive. I mean, it's stupid. The stupidity of it itself is mind-boggling. So stupidity. This is called honesty. I mean, it's just the idiocy of it. But to counter it is not enough to say that this is stupid. You have to have some kind of some handle, because they're presenting it with such powerful logic. Look, you've been able to break this down, and they will be able to break this down. So for this, we know one profound principle. As in stark contrast, in complete opposite to that view. And that is, there is a first being. There is a first reality. That is an inherent recognition in the Nefesh Adam. For this I don't need any explanations, any proofs. The exact opposite. There is absolutely no way to ignore that, and there is no, you can ignore it. There's no way to bypass that reality. This is the beginning of everything. This knowledge enables and provides for chokhmah, provides for knowing everything with seichel on the chokhmah level. Because this principle immediately sets a certain criterion for existence. And that is, the criterion is that it was a created thing. And therefore there is a sense in its existence. Like you say, there's a mahus. What is it? This is the pshat. I'll call var chokhmah v'seichel. Again, I'll go back to the contrast. In the world, there is no such thing as a var chokhmah v'seichel. The Dvar Chokhmah is that this is a mystery. I don't know how it operates, and I want to demystify it. That's the Chokhmah. Dvar Chokhmah v'Seichel is just the opposite. This is a really profound truth, and I have to understand it in its truth, from a truth perspective. And that there is a seichel, there is a meaning to this union. We pointed out many times and throughout that we find the chokhmah and seichel, that how chokhmah and seichel takes things and relates directly to the reality and the truth of something. The seichel itself gives it the reality. Like they say, you enter a chasna hall, you say this is not a hall, this is not tables, this is not a chair, this is not food, this is a simcha, which is defined by seichel only. It exists only on the seichel level. Because that there's a first being, and that everything is related to that first being, and everything represents some kind of a truth of the first being. Therefore, a simcha is a reality. I don't need anything more. It's real. There's a godly reality in it. A chasana absolutely represents the koyach hanitzki, the eternal reality. That's what Bar Chochma V'Seichel. Bar Chochma V'Seichel means that the Chochma V'Seichel, this is identifies the reality of what there is. It is not, Bar Chochma V'Seichel is not to break it down to its components and to eliminate the Chochma V'Seichel. The Chochma V'Seichel is to understand its neshama. What's meant by Chochma V'Seichel? What's the reality? What's the neshama in it? We pointed out, you see a clock on the wall, there's a neshama to it. There's a human quality to it. It's not a clock on the wall. It's the human spirit that's holding it up over there. The fact that it's holding it on a nail, that's totally besides the point. What's the mahus? Why is it there? What's the reality of it? Oh, it's hanging on a nail. That's an idiot's response. Totally an idiot's response. Oh, you see it? Let me investigate. Let me study it. Oh, I know. There's a nail holding it up. Yeah. That's finding the essence of it. There's day and night. Oh yeah. Of course, I understand. The earth turns around. That's how it is. That's day and night. I demystified the whole thing. How stupid can you be? So this is Chacham be'etzem koyach chachmosei. Be'etzem koyach chachmosei means that he is a Chacham where he senses, etzem koyach chacham means he senses the truth of his Chachma coming directly from his nefesh, from the truth of his nefesh. Nefesh, this is the godly truth in every person. And he has developed, he has eliminated, removed, so to speak, obstacles to his thinking process. And he has actually revealed etzem koyach chochmah. He sees things truly from a chochmah perspective. And therefore he knows that he will be able to understand any dvar chochmah, any reality that lends itself to be understood by chochmah. There is in Yonim that is above Chochmah. But any reality that can be answered by Chochmah, he can relate to it. How does he know this? This knowledge. This is the point this is the moshel aspect over here. That he knows this before even trying, before even applying himself to a given question. But he knows that if this is a Bar Chochma V'Seichel, he knows that he will be able to ultimately get to understand and to relate to it. And what kind of knowledge of this Koyach HaChochma is that? We didn't see it in function. So that's what he says at the end of the second line from the bottom. Shezehu yidiyas hakoyach atzmi. This is the knowing of the koyach atzmi. Koyach atzmi means the essence, the essential truth of his koyach, not the functional truth of his koyach. The essential truth of his koyach hachochma really is undefined, is limitless. That from this essence can be drawn and revealed chochmas ad infinitum. The more it's used, the more you attend to it, the more you realize what is contained in it. So this is Yidiyas HaKoyach Atzmi. This is the knowing of the Koyach Atzmi. Koydem sheboli de Giloy ez a Giloy. Before this Koyach Atzmi has been identified as some kind of a functioning koyach. Now, before he became an engineer, or before he became a scholar, before he applied himself to Nigla, Chassidus, to anything, the etzem koyach hachochma, which means the essential ability of this koyach hachochma. So he does not relate to koyach hachochma on any functional level, any manifest level. This is this discipline, this is this approach and that approach, no approaches at all. The etzem koyach hachochma is a direct manifestation, direct draw from the etzem hachayus hanefesh. If this is true to my nefesh, this is true to my choch. And therefore, he senses that, he knows that etzem kechoch. Idea is a kechoch. And this is called the idea. How do you know this idea? Because he says, I can do it. What does he know about it? There's nothing to know about it. It's an etzem. It's an unidentified etzem. But he knows the etzem. We'll interrupt now, and we'll pursue it in Mitzvah further tomorrow. Have a good day. Have a good day.
So Mary said you're going to be in touch with Danny, that he's going to be in touch with Laura?
You can call him now and get an update.
Yeah.